for 2021. We are going to be talking about the first half results for 2021. I have a brief presentation. I will go over it, and please, you can send in your questions, and we can take the questions towards the end. I think that will be more conducive from an administrative point of view. So I'll start now. I think there are enough participants in the meeting, and inshallah more will join as I go along. So if I move to the beginning slide, and I'll start with the business highlights. And so, the big business highlight, I think, and there will be questions on that. I'm sure all of you have questions about what has happened in the budget. So it hasn't affected the results for the first half, but I think let's start with that because it has an impact on our business, and we are very happy with this development which has happened on the fiscal front. So the biggest news is that zero rating has been allowed to us by the government in this budget. And what we feel the result of this is that it's going to spark a conversion from loose milk, which you all know is unhygienic and not good for the health, into safe and nutritious milk that we supply. It's going to give us a space to invest behind the conversion. And we are going to, on this basis, we are going to grow our business, not just Frieslandcampina, but the whole dairy industry. We are going to convert more and more into our business, into the safe area of milk. And this is going to, of course, pay back to the government as well in terms of increased revenue, through increasing collection of taxes. And that, I think is a very sustainable model to grow this business. If I move forward from this very good news and further develop on that, you can see that, till 2016, the industry had enjoying the benefits of zero rating, and you can see the growth of the industry. This is not Frieslandcampina, but entire industry. But 2016, in the 2016 budget, zero rating was taken away, and for milk we moved to the regime, and eventually some of our portfolio also moved into the sales taxable regime. So you can see over the 4 years post that change, how the industry volume. The green area is what the industry feels, how we are going to grow into a higher, volume, and so that's our estimate, the industry's estimate. We haven't put any numbers to it because it's directional, and we don't want to talk about the future numbers. Moving on. This is just a recap of the discussions we've had many times in the past with all of you. Household penetration in milk is 100%, so it's a fully penetrated category, like some other categories in the fast-moving area, fast-moving consumers' good area. That we know about this is that 40% of all budgets are spent, based on various researches. You can see the sources at the bottom left. 40% of the household spend is on food and beverages. So this is a very big portion of what the average Pakistani invests or puts their money into. And 23% of the entire food spend is on milk and related products. So so it's a very key area on a day-to-day basis for us. and the average Pakistani household consumes about 2 liters of milk every day. And so, there is a culture of drinking milk and benefiting from the goodness of milk, provided we are able to get good quality milk and not adulterated, not deteriorated milk that quite most of the time the loose milk areas. So that's the key take out from that it's the integral part of the Pakistani diet. Of course, we have had a rich history of and legacy of milk consumption. We have a culture, and not only it goes back thousands of years. So it's a good area to be in. We love our tea, we drink milk, and we believe in the goodness of milk as Pakistanis. Moving on. Most of the milk, 90% of the milk in the country is unprocessed. It's unsafe. And milk shops deal in loose milk, loose yogurt, and loose milk supply chain has got many issues related to hygiene, temperature, lack of temperature control, and adulteration. And if I move forward now, what you will see is that this the total milk that is traded in Pakistan is about 25 billion liters. So it's a lot of area to convert. It's a huge market, and the size of the pie that we have is quite large, potential to grow. Yeah. So, and all this, of course, now it tells right very well with our purpose and mission of Frieslandcampina Engro. That I'll just read it out for you because it's very important for us. That we will transform the health and well-being of Pakistanis now and for generations to come by nourishing them through unlocking the goodness from grass to glass, as well as by enhancing the livelihood of farmers. Okay. Yeah. If I move forward, so we will talk about our strategy as well. Now, this is something that the Pakistan Radio Association is investing in. It has invested for the last 2 years, and because of the space created by the zero rating, we intend to, as an industry, ramp up this investment and advocate, and invest behind advocacy. Pakistan Medical Association and the team that the Pakistani people should have access to safe milk, to high. They are supporting us. We have also got, as an industry, we will to get advocacy from a number of celebrity anchors from TV channels, and this has become recently on television hot topic on news and talk shows. This will, of course, because of the space that has been provided to us by the government as an industry, you will see more of this in the times to come. If I move forward to the next chart, let's talk about milk. What have we done in the area of Allbirds as a company? We continue to own the morning and breakfast spots. So this space is, we're talking about our Happy Subah space. Milk is consumed to a large extent in the morning, and we are driving this availability consistently on that. As far as new launches, new formats are concerned, we have launched a 50 rupee pouch packaging. It's relatively more economical than our brick packaging or our box packaging, and it provides the same quality, wonderful quality of milk. and it gives you the same quality at a cheaper level. So this is now being we are looking at this format to launch and scale up eventually to a larger audience. As far as the in-store area is concerned, so we are investing into the displays, making our product more visible and making it more available, increasing our coverage in terms of number of shops, more prominent displays. Our Allput stream has been a wonderful addition to our category, our portfolio. This is invested again on the morning platform, Happy Morning, Happy Subah platform. We've also done a huge marketing program, collaborating with digital food channels and TV food programs. And a number of recipes have come out, and this has really fueled the growth for this category. We've also launched a smaller SKU of 125 inches, more accessible in terms of pricing. So we are feeling very happy with the growth that we are getting on this. It's been a very high growth, and that is margin accretive. It's got higher margin, and very happy with that. Moving to our flavored milk. So again, value-added launch, value-added a part of our portfolio. We have it's growing very fast, albeit at a smaller scale, startup. We have invested into making it available in the stores and sampling the product. And this year we have launched in the first half a new variant of Badam Zafran as well. We already have strawberry and chocolate in the marketplace since last year. So again, good growth, and it is margin accretive. And now I move to the next slide, which is our Omor portfolio. Again, we are this is also margin accretive product, and despite the corona situation, where people are less, the foot traffic in the stores is less. We have placed more assets in the market, assets in terms of freezers and tricycles, ice cream trikes as we call them, and we have grown this also very impressively. And we've had innovations fueling this growth as well. We've also had the highest ever Eid sales, and we make quite a large sale on Eid on this. We have had a very successful communication which has ended with the consumer. So again, good news on the Omor front as well. So moving forward to ad, I think it's always a good idea. Ice cream makes people happy, and ice cream ads are always fun. So let's watch this ad. Apologies, I think because we are playing it on the internet, so it's a bit the quality was a bit off. But you've all probably seen that on television. It's a wonderful ad. So these are the new launches that we did at various price points. So happy with these new launches as well. And of course, in the COVID situation, in-home consumption has also been targeted. We are trying to maximize ice cream sales. So these value-added in-home consumption tubs have also done very well. Another ad. So let's watch another ad. Flavorful mystery. मजा गया और क्या क्रीम मजेदार एकदम सारे 335 रुपए में जो आ रहे हैं फ्रूटी फ्लेवर से भरपूर शाही और चॉकलेट चंक्स चॉकलेट फ्लोरा चिकन रचना ना होके ना Friesland's menu. So that's a tag like wow bhara pani. Let's talk about new channels as well. So we are under extraordinary circumstances. It's COVID has for the last year, more than almost 2 years actually now. We're operating in a 1.5 year. We're operating in a Corona environment. It's been very tough, and we've always had to constantly innovate in terms of how we are able to get our product to the consumer. So this is something that we have worked hard because we haven't let this get into the way of servicing the consumer requirements. And we have worked on new channels as well. We worked on a number of e-commerce, with a number of e-commerce partners trying to get our product in, and it's been very successful. We've grown e-commerce sales by 14 times, so compared to last year. And we've also, also done a lot of digital advertising as people have been working more and more out of home and having meetings on computer or so a lot of digital advertising has landed on this. Moving forward. In terms of the channels we have specially target, given the situation or sporadic lockdowns, sometimes total lockdowns, but we've observed that pharmacies, loose milk shops, petromarts are always open. Because of the nature of their business, and the government also allows them to remain open. So we have had in the first half for both milk and ice cream, 107% growth in pharmacy channel. In the loose milk, we have products. We have 5% of the loose milk shops. We've also grown about 77% in the Petromart. So that's how we work to overcome the challenges that have been facing us. Now let's move to the financial highlights. So this is a revenue, as you've seen the accounts, I'm sure. We have a 22% growth in the first half over last year, same period. If you look at the quarter one, that's an 18% growth, and quarter two is 26% growth. So these are, we're pretty happy, not percent, but the growth percentages increased in quarter two versus quarter one. So that's something which is good, and we did suffer in the quarter two last year. We were, the lockdown was very, very strict at that point in time, but we have managed to deliver even positive growth at that time. As far as the PAT is concerned, we've had almost a 400% increase versus same period last year. So we are happy about that. And the first half EBIT of 1.4 billion. Sorry, PAT of 1.4 billion. If you look only at the dairy segment, you'll see that there is an 18% revenue growth and a 55% PAT growth, and it's just so. Ice cream. Ice creams has 64% first half growth. Some of it is, of course, because last year's lockdown was very strict. But because, I think even without that, this is an impressive growth. These are impressive numbers for Q1 and Q2 for ice cream. This is our highest number ever for the company. And for PAT, we have delivered almost 200 million in the first half, which is a 500% growth. So, thank you very much. I've gone over this fairly quickly because I think questions are important, and we are here to answer whatever questions you have, whatever listen to your concerns and ideas that you have, and exchange of ideas I think is always good, and it can help us and better our business, and maybe it can help you understand the business a little more. So if you have any questions, let me know. Are we taking live questions or are we taking on the chat? Okay. So if you could write down your question on the chat, Mohammed Taha has raised their hand. And Zubair Saab.
Sir. So can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Taha Saab, is that you?
Yeah. I had 4 to 5 questions. If you could please address them.
So let's take them one by one. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Firstly, can you provide a breakup of the revenue growth in terms of price and volume that you have achieved in the latest quarter? Hello.
Sorry, please. Can you ask the question again? I will get some evidence. Breakdown between.
Yeah, breakup between the price increase and the volume increase. You have achieved around 26% growth in the quarter in revenues. So just wondering what was the price and the volume contribution in that. Sir, you didn't get the question?
Sorry, did you hear it? Did you hear my answer?
No, sir, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. So the volume increase is around 7%, and the rest is a mix improvement because and price improvement. As you can see, also has certain played a part because the value-added categories have increased a lot. So it's a 7% volume, and the rest is a mix and price.
Okay. So, about the gross margins as well, they have significantly improved since last year. Around 2 to 3% gross margin have improved in the first half of this year versus last year. So this is despite the fact of increasing inputs. Basically, the raw milk prices increased, MP prices increased, and palm oil prices also increased. So despite all that, you have managed to achieve this gross margin improvement. So could you point out the factors which has led to this improvement?
Yes. I would say there are 3 factors equally responsible. And the first one, of course, is the fact that we have a volume increase and there's better cost absorption. The second, we have managed to grow our mix. We have managed to improve our mix by growing the value-added segments like cream, like flavored milk, like Omo ice cream. And the third is that we have managed to land the pricing on a. I think all 3 have equal contributions.
Okay. So you mentioned the cream and the flavored milk. So these are relatively new products. Could you currently at?
Well, there would be around, cream is not that new. Cream is not that new. We've had cream for a number of years, but what we have managed to do recently is really grow it very fast in over the last 2 years. So I would say all cream and flavored milk together would be about less than 5% right now, and but they have managed to come up very fast. I would say, if you asked me 2 years ago, I would have said this portfolio was about 2%.
Okay. And sir, just can you point out the sustainability of these margins going forward as well? Can we expect improvement side?
Okay. Uh, Although I don't like to make forward-looking statement, but because this is an analyst briefing and everybody gets the same information, so I would just a certain caution how to look at the margins and the numbers. We have seasonality in this business. And people who have been covering our company for a number of years are aware that first half, milk price is very economical versus the second half, where there is a flush season in the first half, and then we have a lean season how we buy milk. So from that point of view, so be a bit sort of careful. Look at the past years as well for your. As far as taking the margins forward, I would just like to say this is milk business by large as we speak now. So we have come to a level. We will come to a milk margin level where it will be optimal, and we then whatever increase that happens in the gross margin area will be because of the value added products that we bring. So what one shouldn't expect is that we are going to increase the price of milk and make it more pricey and more expensive. Remember, it's milk, and we can't outpace ourselves on this. So again, the word of caution would be please don't look at the trajectory of the margin increase. Do assume that we will stabilize the margin, and we will also, but on a positive side, do assume that we will increase inshallah the mix, improve the mix, and increase the portion of the value added products with higher margin. But of course, because you start from a low base, it takes.
Okay, okay. Sir, so basically, just the last question. Value add product is certainly a very small amount currently of your revenue. The major business would be Allpers and the Tarang. So could you towards that side, how much would they be trading at currently?
So I'm not going to talk about these but this is information that will be it will hurt us in terms of competition finding out about our margins. So if you excuse me, I'll just have to take this direction.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Zubair Saab, I think, has raised his hand.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I was looking at the gross margins of Engro Foods a couple of years back, and we've seen that these gross margins have tended to be prior to 2016 or 17 level. These have been quite sustainable, north of 20 to 22%. Now, I also attended the analyst briefing of G Foods, and I heard loud and clear Sarfraz Saab saying that they, FFBL, sorry, in which he pointed about for G Foods that he thinks that the margins could revert back to 20, 22 odd percent on a sustainable basis. First question is that what's your outlook on this? Do you think that I understand the seasonality bit in the first half, but do you think we sustainably on the above 20 to 22% for Frieslandcampina? This is the first question.
Okay, sorry. I'm just going to clarify this. So, what was the takeout from the 4G briefing? सरफराज साहब ने क्या फरमाया?
सरफराज साहब ने फरमाया था कि जो है मार्जिन 16 और 17 के बीच से पहले 20-22% की रेंज में ग्रोस मार्जिन रहते थे साल के
जी।
तो उनका ये ख्याल था कि ये ग्रोस मार्जिन जो है ना वो 20-22% की रेंज के अंदर सस्टेनेबली रहेंगे इंडस्ट्री रिवर्ट बैक कर जाएगी उन मार्जिन चाह रहा था कि आपका इंडस्ट्री के बारे में क्या आप यही ऑप्टिमिज्म शेयर करते हो फ्रीसलैंड कंपीना के बारे में भी यही ऑप्टिमिज्म शेयर करते हैं पुराने लेवल्स पर आप
अंडरस्टूड अच्छा इसमें मेरा पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू थोड़ा सा उनसे डिफरेंट है विद रिस्पेक्ट
फूड पांडा में खोल
मेरा अच्छा एक बात तो मैं आपको ये कहूंगा कि इंडस्ट्री की बात मैं कर रहा हूँ फौजी के मार्जिन हो सकता है कि ये सस्टेन हो बिकॉज दे हैव अ डिफरेंट मिक्स ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स सो दे आर सेलिंग बटर दे आर सेलिंग चीज and you know they are selling नूरपुर मिल्क as well so उनका इस तरह से डिफरेंट हो सकता है लेकिन on an industry basis I don't think I think you know you'll get to the 8% level if you increase your value added portfolio जो 16 में रिजल्ट आते थे 20-22 वो भी अगर आप ज्यादा पीछे जाइएगा तो वो इतने हाई नहीं थे वो 3 साल आपको हाई मार्जिन याद रहेंगे आई थिंक एट दैट पॉइंट इन टाइम you know the contribution of tea whitener was large in the dairy industry and also the margins of tea whitener were pretty high because international SMP prices were very low. अब क्या हुआ है दो चीजें हो चुकी हैं टी whitener जो है shrunk as a category. Tea whitener is only maybe 30% of what it was in 2016 as an industry. So costs have gone up for tea whitener. International protein prices or SMP prices are about 2.5 times what they were in 2015, 2016, 20. और दूसरी बात ये कि इस पे रेगुलेटरी ड्यूटी लग चुकी है स्किम मिल्क पाउडर के इंपोर्ट पे और फॉरेन एक्सचेंज उस वक्त 160 जो भी चल रहा है So वो margins तो आप और pricing का एक limit होता है 40% because if you make it more expensive than milk, then nobody is going to buy it. So वो मेरा ख्याल अच्छा so tea whitener is now instead of a high margin value added product it has moved into a low margin product and the contribution of course has also shrunk which is also in a way a good thing because now low margin. So मेरा वो ये कि you know it's not going to be sustained area unless you increase your mix, improve your mix, more cheese, more butter. इस तरह की चीजें
now my second question is related to the answer that you have. In I think Frieslandcampina it's almost taken over the management 5 years ago. Approximately a bit here and there, but we haven't seen the kind of roles that we were expecting from a company of an international stature. So what has been the reason? Because barring a few alterations in your product mix, the ice cream was pretty much there. Flavored milk probably would be a category and cream. So why haven't we seen the kind of product rollouts that we have seen from other companies in the same time frame? Though they are pretty small in nature, Foods obviously has been on a loss-making trajectory, but they have introduced new products of late. We've seen Prema introduced a few products. What is barring Frieslandcampina from introducing cheese and butter and a few other products?
Excellent. So it's a question that we discuss every day. So uh, a lot of improvements that happened because of the coming in of Friesland Campina. Some of them, of course, are front facing, like new launches, new products. Improvements are, in the background, and you see them in terms of increased sales, increased profit, increased margins. एक backdrop to a big tea whitener business which was profitable, hugely profitable, a value added. So आजकल हम green को value added कह रहे हैं और flavored milk को value added कह रहे हैं, उसके भी similar margins होते थे. So वो पूरा we are about 1/5 of that in terms of volume and margin भी चला गया. So उसको हमने offset किया in terms of better cost management, better procurement, better processes, taking cost out of the supply chain. This all came from the Friesland area. And we got a lot of benefit because of their knowledge, their experience in other countries. So ये एक चीज तो हम recognize करते हैं as people who have been here from the Engro time, जिन्होंने ये move change देखा. दूसरा ये कि you're absolutely right, एक होता है front facing जो आप भी देखेंगे in terms of new products. हमने ये फ्लेवर्ड मिल्क भी लॉन्च किया एंड उससे पहले हमने फुल क्रीम मिल्क पाउडर लॉन्च किया ऑलपर्स का, which I talked about in the year before last. We've also launched Allpers Procal, which is a low-fat, high-protein milk. We've also launched Tarang tea whitening powder. We've also, Allpers cream was a very low volume product. It has really grown many times in the last 2 or 3 years because of a huge improvement in quality. It's a wonderful product, Allpers cream. And also, एक और मैं आपको ये बताऊंगा, where Friesland which is the sales area, unlike what other some people who are not associated, they don't realize how much expertise is execution. So we got a lot of experience making how to make your product available, how to make it move on the shelves, how to do merchandising. A lot of experience and benefit of that from Friesland. Now, I know your questions are not fully answered yet.
But if I can contribute,
there are a number of products still in the pipeline. And we were managing a change in terms of the portfolio, where a large portion of our portfolio, if you recall, Tarang, almost reduced rapidly. So we managed to grow. We are growing Allpers, at a very fast rate to counter that. We've over the last 3 years. We've also done a lot of improvements in the processes. Managed to introduce some new products, and we have an innovation pipeline which is still very full. And so what we don't want to do is overdo the innovation. We want to do innovations which make an impact, which are here to stay. Not small innovations. Yeah.
Sir, I understand, but don't get me. I was looking at top line for CY 15, and that sums up to 50 billion rupees. And the half-year top line for CY 21 is half of 2.25 billion. So it's still on what top line was 5 or 6 years ago. So there is visible improvement. And the second part is that we've seen competitors like Fauji Food relaunching their butter segment in tubs. They have come out with cheese of late. They have come with few other products. So they are still not profitable and the size is minuscule. My only thought about Friesland might be there, but the rollout has not been that swift.
Okay,
This is a
now
point.
I'm going to recap a number of things I've said. So a large portion of our portfolio. So in 2015, let's say, Tarang was about 55% of our sales.
Okay.
And that whole tea whitening, category as a whole for the industry, tea whitening, that is not there anymore. It's very small. It's 1/5 of what it was. So, what
Got
we
your
have,
point,
the
sir.
category disappeared. Please hear me out. So the category disappeared, and we have managed to build the other products to replace that. The category as a whole has lost its validity in terms of the consumer attractiveness because of 2 or 3 reasons that I mentioned. Now I'm going to say those again. So one was that the zero rating was taken away, which added a cost of about 6 to 7 rupees per liter. The fact that regulatory duty was imposed on the import of skim milk powder. And the third was that skim milk powder itself became in dollar terms 2.5 times what it was in that very low price period of 20. Of course, exchange rate. So now that category does not exist for the whole industry as it used to at that point in time. So the industry had to move on. And they did. And, a lot of conversion has happened in terms of growing the milk, all purpose milk. And yes, there are new launches which are coming in. In the food area, Zavesa, it's a slow burn sometimes when you introduce a new product. Sometimes it takes years to gather the momentum and to. So we have introduced the full cream milk powder. We've ramped up the cream, where it is really a big part, and we've ramped up ice cream. So it is a decision of where to direct your money and what to invest in. And there are more innovations in the pipeline right now. The first 2 years we were consolidating, managing the Tarang almost decline into the ground, and I think we have managed to do that well, and you will see better in the future as well, inshallah.
Thank you so much. It was very well explained on the fallout of the tea whitener segment. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, sir. I think there is a written question as well. There is a question on the average yield per animals of as compared to the national of 4 to 5 liters. So, we have found that when we train farmers through hygiene, cleanliness, and putting the animal under, giving the animal adequate water. We are able to move this from the 5-liter area to the 10-liter area. But it's a struggle because how much can individual companies do? It's a large country. There are many farmers, and there is also a very fragmented supply chain. So some farmers have 4 or 5 cows that we are dealing with. So it is for a company, whether it's Frieslandcampina or Nestle or the dairy industry getting together, we can do some training, but we are going to be making a significant impact until the government does a better job as well. And we are working with the government on this as well to do this area. Having said our own farm has a yield of about 27 liters per animal. So that's where we bring the farmers in. Some of the farmers we train them because you're not going to get to 20 without changing the genetic profile. So but simple interventions can. If I move to the next question. So, okay. There's a question from Amir Hamza from Taurus Securities. Explain how zero rating regime works for the dairy sector. So I'll do that. I think it's worth spending some time on that. So you know how it works. Basically, there are three regimes in sales tax. One is the exempt regime, which is of course, the main regime is the value-added tax regime, which is the sales taxable. So what happens is that you pay tax on the output of the finished product, and the input tax you can adjust before. The second is the exempt regime, where there is no sales tax on the final product, and the input tax is very much part of your cost. So it becomes part of your cost. You can't do nothing about it. Then there's a zero rating regime, where there is no tax on the finished product, but the input taxes you can claim as a refund. So that's the three regimes that are existing. If I move to the next question, which is from Mustafa Saab. When are we expecting cheese and butter? I can't reveal the next launches, but I just want to say that we are committed to being in the area of value-added products. We are committed to having to innovating. We are committing to innovating in a way which is sustainable and makes impact, not once-off innovations. So we make sure that we can invest into a category or new product, and then we bring it in and we support it fully. So innovations will definitely come. Can't give you a date because of competitive reasons, but innovations will come and they'll be value added and sustained, inshallah. Okay. What was the third factor for improvement other than volume and mix? Pricing. And that was pricing. And the other one question is, Kazim Fidani साहब ने बड़ी पहले सवाल पूछा था. As per your company guidance, company won't be passing to zero. It will be investing. Okay. There is no specific guidance like that. Okay. I haven't given a guidance, but how much is going to be passed on to the consumer, or how much is going to be invested. But definitely it gives us the room to invest. I think, it's my view that how do we use this money that the government is, and the discussion we've had with the government as well. The idea is to increase the government revenue, and they are going to suffer because they are going to zero rating regime for us. So how do we do that? The idea is to grow the volume and to grow, to increase the conversion from loose milk to the value to the formal sector. And we, our estimate, will compensate the government for this within 2 years. And from there on, we will grow it to such an extent that it will be a positive outlook for them, and they will be happy about it. They continue to provide us zero rating. So, so please don't call it guidance. It's my view that investing in conversion is a better way than dropping the price, and so it's a more sustainable long term. There may be some things which are onto pricing as well. So I haven't given you an exact breakdown. Okay, will you share what is the next question that I will take? What is the outlook on milk prices, both raw and packaged milk? Yeah. So, last year, I think milk prices increased by about, almost 16, 17%, and as in this year. Is, international commodity cost. And, we have had to buy milk, which is expensive. I think there will be some stabilization in near future, hopefully. But it depends a lot on the international commodity prices. That's an area to watch out for. So if we think that the commodity costs will continue to go into the sky, then yeah, its milk is also going to be impacted. But the view is it's going to stabilize for a few months, and because it's not really that sustainable right now. If it continues to grow, of course, price will have to go up as well. So cattle herd, yes, that's what percentage of raw milk do we buy? We buy about 7% of our requirement. We've got about 5,000 animals there. Okay, what is the market size? Okay. We'll come back to you on that. I think its market is probably, yeah, let me work on that. Don't have the answer right now on that. Yeah, devaluation. Yeah, well, milk is the biggest impactor, because of the input costs. So that's where the, prices go up. Because the input cost for farms go up, soya and everything, corn. So these are the utilities. They all go up. So that's how devaluation impacts us. Okay. So any other question that we can take? Well, actually, you can look at the ice cream and milk from our accounts, because there is segmented reporting, so you can look at that. And you will see what portion is sales from ice cream and what is the milk. So, Sabil stands, we talked about what portion, whether, we talked about UHT. We talked about the fact that we are investing now into conversion. So I'm not giving guidance on what the margin is going to go up and what is going to be reinvested into growth. Margin will obviously go up whether it's growth or it's through, passing it on. So let's. I think it's a bit of a simplistic equation which I won't be able to tackle at this point in time. Okay. So any further questions? If you wish, you can raise your hand. I'm available. There are some questions related to our accounts which are which are not going to make sense if I tell you the answer, because they're not related to the accounts per se, but are competitively sensitive. So how much do I buy my milk at? What do I pay to a supplier? These are not things that I think will be beneficial even if I share, but it can hurt the company. So yes, definitely future capex. That's an excellent question. We are going to invest into conversion. There's going to be capital expenditure, and there is going to be growth. I pray that we grow and we invest into. We have always been investing into improvement capital expenditure, into efficiencies, but we look forward to investing into growth as well. We have invested a lot in the ice cream area as we are placing assets every year in the marketplace. We have done debottlenecking at various places in the plants, and we have also invested in the past in the milk procurement area, the receptions. We will continue to. Okay, so your question is about skim milk powder. So just rather than answering it in that simple way, what percentage of SMP is consumed? Well, I don't know how to answer that. Let me just say that skim milk powder imported is only for tea whitener, which is not a product which is designed to give nutrition. It's the category which is designed to give you a wonderful cup of tea. For all purpose, this is pure local fresh milk that we, and that is the main source of protein that we procure. Most, about 70%, 80% of our cost is fresh and reserve. So skim milk powder is only for tea whitener. It's a smaller category. It's pretty small, right? Yeah, sure. Capital expenditure for the first half of 2021 is what I can talk about. And so there's a question on the capital expenditure for 2021. I can talk only to the extent of the first half. And in that, what we have done is we've invested into freezer cabinets. We've invested into generator sets for our milk collection areas, and we've done debottlenecking in the plants, and there's that sort of investment as well. Full cream milk powder contribution is right now pretty small, but as I said, it's a slow burn. I won't be giving you an exact number on that. So it's developing, and it's a wonderful product. If you try it, please do. If you haven't tried it, do. We buy our skim milk powder mostly from international sources, internationally cleared suppliers. The source, these are internationally accredited in terms of quality and their safety standards. So the reason for the growth in ice cream revenue, we have. I'll say it again. It was in the slide that we have invested into the equity branding. It's been very successful. We've also invested into alternate channels like e-commerce, and a lot of our advertising has also been very digital, so we've kept up with the trends. Also launched new products which are very successful. New innovation as new excitement come into the category, and we've also placed more assets in the the shelf for ice cream is the freezer cabinet. That's what we are placing. More and more growth is happening because of that. So I guess it seems that we've answered a lot of questions. Okay. We are not going to be talking too much about market share. Suffice it to say that we are market leaders in both the UHT and tea whitener category, and in ice cream we are number two because, as you know, Walls is pretty much bigger than we are. Engro manufactures skim milk powder. Yes. So there is a seasonality in the business. Sometimes we, get more milk, and we are balancing the mass all the time. We make skim milk powder locally as well, but that's sometimes used internally, and the surplus only is what are able to sell. There's some seasonality which we have to take care of, which is why we sometimes buy locally, sometimes or use our own locally, and sometimes we have to import. Let's it's just about seasonality. So yes, if there are no questions, if you can, okay, I've got another question. Okay, so this is actually Friesland buys 7% of its requirement from its own farm, and the rest from. So it's the other way around that you asked. As far as the lockdown impact on current quarter ice cream segment is concerned, yes, there has been some sporadic lockdowns in the current quarter. It has impacted. We are trying to overcome that through our e-commerce channels. We are trying to supply ice cream at hours where shops are open. So there is an adaptation, or you try to adapt to the requirements. Any further questions? Have I managed to answer the bulk? Yeah, I did mention the size of the herd. It was about 5,000 animals. No, I won't be able to share the. But you can actually, look at the margins in the accounts. Just look at the accounts. It's a segmented reporting. I just look at the accounts and you will see. I think we're done then, Ji. Thank you very much for coming today and your interest. It's been useful for me to be able to spend some time and talk to a few people and get questions from you. In case there are any questions, you can send them in. Yes, it's in the website, and you can send your queries to the investor relations. Well, thank you very much. Wonderful being here.